I meant to make a video going over this yesterday. I did allude to it in the event week video about the community guidelines, and since other people are also discussing it, I thought that I would do so as well. Once again, we're going to go over the community guidelines, and then I'm going to give you my opinion about how I feel about the guidelines overall, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and your opinions about the guidelines. Welcome below in the comment section. All right, so here's off their X account. We have published a new set of community guidelines to help ensure a positive gaming experience for everyone. Say sorry, be nice.
Serious?
Okay, Rockstar. Let's see what this is all about. Community guidelines. We have an incredibly vibrant Rockstar Games community. Every day, millions of players across the globe are working their way up the criminal ladder in GTA Online or living life of an outlaw in Red Dead Online. While these fictional worlds are filled with possibilities, maintaining a foundation of fair play, respect, and player safety for everyone is our highest priority. It hasn't been your highest priority for a decade now, Rockstar, especially on PC, where it's literally the Wild West of GTA Online and Red Dead Online since you're on crappy peer-to-peer servers. So if it is your highest priority, then why isn't GTA Online and Red Dead Online on a more secure, dedicated servers that you can control instead of cheap-ass peer-to-peer? To ensure a positive gaming experience, including welcoming, fun, fair environment for our community, Rockstar encourages everyone to follow these basic guiding principles and to adhere to their community guidelines. By the way, a lot more online live service multiplayer games are having something similar now. If they haven't already, these community guidelines are nothing new. Additionally, these guidelines outline what behavior actions we do not allow, as more fully detailed in our terms of service. And if you want to read that, go and read the terms of service. Will be updated periodically to reflect any ongoing changes to the player experience. If you observe players not acting in accordance to our community guidelines, we strongly encourage you to report this behavior using the in-game reporting tools or through options available on our website. Now, over the years, we have noticed griefers and orb spammers and people cheating. Outright cheating in GTA Online and Red Dead Online, not just on PC, but also on console. And a lot of these people have been reported over and over and over again, and yet not a damn thing up to this point has been done about them. Like the other cheating modes and abilities that are on console, people just grief and they cheat. And up till now, nothing's been done to them. So I hope that this is a change of course when it comes to actual griefers in the game, not just people that like to PvP. Hopefully Rockstar understands the difference and doesn't start putting PvP players that are beating another player on, the public lobbies into this category of griefing because they're better at PvPing. So we'll see how that goes. Fair play. Playing fairly is integral to an enjoyable experience for everyone. Cheating is disruptive and counter to the spirit of friendly competition at the heart of our online games. While griefing can ruin fun by creating negative environment for one or more players, which has been going on for years now in both your online modes, Rockstar, both behaviors can lead to loss of player privileges. We define these behaviors as follows. Cheating. Gaining an unfair advantage by using cheats, exploits, hacks, and other third-party software. So you're finally going to do something about that. Are you going to go ahead and punish the orb spammers that have been reported a bazillion times for all the times they've been orb spamming and all the other cheaters? Are you going to go ahead and punish them now, day one? Well, day two now at the recording of this video. Or are you just going to allow them to continue doing it? Or are these simply words that aren't really backed up by a damn thing? Griefing. Intentionally annoying another player, interfering with their experience and progress by using the game in unintended ways, spawn killing, stream sniping, driving the wrong way in a race. Really? That counts as griefing? That's just being annoying. And sometimes it's one of your own friends that's doing it because they're just goofing. I don't think goofing and griefing is the same thing. I don't think that driving the wrong way in a race should count as griefing, Rockstar. Orbing players should count as griefing. Now remind me who put the orb cannon in GTA Online with the Doomsday Heist. It was you, Rockstar, even though a lot of us were warning you not to do it. Having it in Act 3 was one thing. Having it as something that potential griefers could buy to use against other players was an issue that a lot of us had foresaw. And yeah, years and years and years of players being griefed by orbers or orb spammers or whatever you want to call them. So are you going to do something about the orb cannon like Gilly Master suggested in your post the other day? Like, I don't know, remove it once and for all and just give everybody that bought the damn thing like $900,000 in their Maze bank account? Now let's talk about respect. Be respectful. Even criminals have a code of honor. Where are you coming from on this? Are you kidding me? Criminals might have a code, like don't snitch, don't be a rat. But a code of honor? You've watched too many movies, Rockstar. I like how they're trying to make this work in a game where you're basically a criminal, where you carry out mayhem and death and destruction and you steal millions and millions of dollars. But they're trying to make this work. Mentoring newer players, assisting other players with tasks like heist prep, cell missions, simply being mindful of your microphone's background noise are all examples of ways to facilitate goodwill and promote positivity for all players in a session. For the record, I'm one of those types of players that likes mentoring new players and helping my friends and other players when it comes to such things like businesses, setups for heists, cell missions, heists themselves, the Cluckenbell raid, as well as the salvage yard operations. I enjoy doing that sort of thing. I actually do. I'm not one of the PvP players in the game. I absolutely suck at PvP. But just because I get my ass handed to me in PvP in a public lobby doesn't mean that I'm being griefed. It just means that somebody's better at PvPing than me. Once again, I hope Rockstar understands that difference, because I feel like that there might be a lot of PvP players that are going to be wrongfully reported because of these new community guidelines. Pay it forward and you may find other players stepping in to help when you least expect it. Well, good luck with that. We do not allow player-to-player harassment, bully, threats, attacks against players' identity, including but not limited to. Now, let me hit the pause button. Most of this stuff I agree with wholeheartedly. However, let's backtrack a little bit to Rockstar's claims that they don't tolerate this and they don't allow it. Meanwhile, people have been doxxed and their IPs have been discovered along with the location of where they live in real life. And all this stuff has happened over the past decade in GTA Online and Red Dead Online. The harassing, the bullying, the threats, all that has been happening because Rockstar has not done a good job with their piece of shit peer-to-peer servers, especially on PC. So it seems like a bit of hypocrisy here, Rockstar, where you talk about how you're not going to stand something, yet you have fully allowed it for the past decade. Continuing. Identity-based hate and discrimination. Glorification or promote hate groups or their ideologies, attacking someone due to their protected characteristics, including race, ethnicity, gender identity, gender expression, sexual orientation, disability, national origin, age, religion, family, familial status, and veteran status. Okay, I agree with all this. I think going after somebody for those reasons is wrong and hateful. But Rockstar, you should have done something about this a long time ago. I mean, it's been a decade now, and this doesn't always happen, but it has happened over the past decade from 360 PS3 to PS4, Xbox One, PC, especially PC, and even on current gen with the PS5, Xbox Series versions of your game. Extreme violent content and gore, sharing images of real-world depictions of graphic content, gore, animal abuse. Yeah, that stuff is wrong. I agree with that. But this is a game that has violent content and gore and destruction and explosions and the ability to mow down police officers in a video game and innocent civilians, once again, in a video game. I know there's a difference. Okay, I think most of us can agree that in real life, extreme violent content and gore, okay, that's something that people should not be forced to see. But adult nudity and sexual activity. There are strippers that will give you lap dances topless at the Vanilla Unicorn. They've been doing that for a decade now. And Rockstar doesn't exactly ask if you're an adult in order to go into the Vanilla Unicorn. A lot of kids have gone into the Vanilla Unicorn and went first person and gotten lap dances. There's also sexual activity with prostitutes in GTA Online. So you already have adult nudity and sexual activity in your video game. But I know what they're talking about. Sharing explicit sexual images or using our platform to solicit sexual activity or seek sexual gratification. Are you kidding me? Like, how many people out there, I know, very small percentage of them, have gotten some sort of quote-unquote sexual gratification from going to the strip club in the video game and watching girls dancing on them naked and talking dirty to them, or with the prostitutes. Even if the prostitutes don't take off their clothes, there's simulated sounds and the car moving up and down. Most people probably not aroused by that, but there probably is a percentage of the community that is. I know the kind of world we live in now. So there's already been sexual activity and sexual gratification going on in GTA Online for, like I said, a decade now. But once again, I know they're trying to state the difference between what's in a video game and what's in real life. So I kind of see the point, but at the same time, I'm just shaking my head. All right, so let's move on to safety. And for the record, obviously, just like all these issues up here, I don't tolerate any of this either, not in my community, and obviously not in Rockstar's communities when it comes to GTA and Red Dead Online. I just hope they end up practicing what they preach. Sharing a safe online experience for all players is paramount. Rockstar does not tolerate player behavior that can cause any degree of harm to players or promote real-world illegal activity, including but not limited to violent extremism, glorification or promotion of real-world terrorists, extremists, criminal organizations and their ideologies, suicide and self-harm, promotion of real-world suicide or self-harm, illegal regulated activities, discussing or enabling real-world purchase of sell weapons, drugs, other controlled substances. Yes, you can do that in the video game, but yes, there is a difference between the video game and the real world. Personal identifiable information. I'm looking at you, Rockstar. Sharing other players' personal information, such as contact information, which you have been very neglectful of for a decade now. Do I need to repeat myself like a broken record or a parrot? No, I don't think I need to. Most of you agree with me on that. So Rockstar, do better. Minor safety. Now, for the record, this is an M-rated game, both GTA Online and Red Dead Online, and parents should not allow their children to play these games, but they do. But at the same time, I do support the safety of minors. Behavior that may endanger or exploit minors, including sharing or discussing child sexual abuse material or predatory behavior. Now that should be reported, and if it's reported, then action needs to be taken against these would-be predators. Spam and scams. Disrupting, misleading others to drive inappropriate or fraudulent engagement, including the repeat messages or deceptive practices. Rockstar does not tolerate abuse, inappropriate behavior, or threats against our community or team members of Rockstar Games. And finally, we get to consequences. And there better actually be consequences to all this, because most of it I actually agree with, Rockstar, and I think that you should have been putting your foot down a long time ago. Because you've had reports over the years, probably tons of reports across all platforms of a lot of this behavior. And it seems like no one ever has gotten punished up until this point. So there better be a legitimate changing of the guard when it comes to these issues. If a player violates our community guidelines, we reserve the right to take action against the account. Type of action will depend on the case, severity, frequency of violations we find on the account. If appropriate, violations will be reported to law enforcement, such as the predator stuff. Yeah, the doxing stuff, absolutely. There's things that definitely cross the line and should be reported to law enforcement. Players who are found to violate the community guidelines may see additional enforcement actions taken against their account, including further suspensions and account suspensions and bans. Guidelines apply to all aspects of our online game experiences, including voice, text communication, any community-created content. Rockstar strongly encourages players to report prohibited and inappropriate behavior and continue to help keep our games safe. If you need to make a report, please use the in-game reporting tools or other options available on our website. Now, we've gone over this a moment ago, and there's been numerous occasions where myself and others have come across cheaters and griefers clearly breaking the rules that already existed, and we reported them, and yet nothing was ever done, Rockstar. So most of us just kind of gave up and like, well, fuck it. Reporting doesn't mean a damn thing. So maybe this is actually changing where they actually will take reports seriously, hopefully. We build our experiences to be enjoyed by as many of our community members as possible. By maintaining a foundation of fair play, player safety, and respect, you will provide yourself and others the opportunity to experience these living worlds and grow the community in a fun and friendly environment. Once again, this community guidelines article is linked below in the description section. Overall, I do agree with most of it. I did find the whole adult nudity and sexual activity thing to be kind of funny because there is technically adult nudity and sexual activity in the game. But when it comes to cheating and griefing, Rockstar needs to do a way better job than it has over the past decade. So we'll just have to wait and see as to whether or not Rockstar backs these words with action. Your thoughts, views, and opinions, welcome, as always, below in the comment section.